Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Legend of Heroes Northern War, Episode 6. Yes. Oh. Yes, Episode 6 of Northern War. Last episode, I think the last episode kind of sucked considering I don't remember what happened. I wrote down Campanella. Right, they went and they had a side quest fixing the hot springs in Ymir, and that was kind of it, unfortunately. I didn't like the last episode, I think. I mean, it's been a while, like a week or so. It felt like a side quest. You know, they have 12 episodes, why are you doing a side quest? It just seemed fillerish. Not much to say about it. I suppose the only thing that was of interest, I guess, was at the very end we saw Jaina and Rogan dealing with Campanella and potentially some archaisms, right? I'm guessing they're trying to get some military strength from, or like borrow the society's power in terms of their archaisms and stuff like that. But we shall see. Without further ado, let's get right into the episode. Episode 6. Oh, we're seeing young Lavi. Ah, so it is Grandpa. Oh my Jesus. Reen? Valimar. Oh my god, Lavi is the daughter of Reen and Valimar. Oh my god, my mind is blown. No. Dream, obviously. Nightmare. What, did she fall asleep on the train? Just a kind of a side note, I don't understand how people can fall asleep in public spaces. People fall asleep in the cinema? Like, how the fuck? That's like baffling to me. Like, how do you let your guard down around like complete strangers in complete public spaces? That's like insane to me. Even when I'm like insanely tired and sleepy, like when I'm in a public space with other people around me, there's no fucking way I fall asleep. No fucking way. Like, there have been times when I've kind of dozed off when I'm like in a car with people I know, but if it's strangers, no fucking way. Hell no. I just straight up, I don't understand how people can relax themselves to the point where they fall asleep in a public space. Okay, where are we now?
That feels good.
Celtic, eh?
Welcome. I've been expecting you guys.
Are they going to the Grand Market?
Imperial Army's Intelligence Division. Lechter, at your service.
Oh.
And what would you need with us? We only got off here for our next train.
Oh, I've already taken the liberty to book that for you. In fact, I'd like to take you back to the capital myself.
Flattered. But really, we're just here as tourists. Why would someone so important want to invite us?
There's no need to be so humble. The Northern Jaegers have a fairly notable reputation here in this country, you know. With that being said, it is of course a pretty negative one.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, sir.
Come on out, ladies. I'd like to introduce you to our new friends.
Hey, wow, she's kinda
Millium.
cute. Lying won't get you anywhere.
We're well aware the two of you managed to sneak into the Empire on a recon mission. We know every detail.
Pervert, you took
Interesting. Hang on. One of these pictures is that Lavi flying into the party? It is, right? Which means they must have already been watching them way before Lavi met Reen.
And then there's you, Martin S. Robinson. You're the supervisor of this young Jaeger squad, that right? For someone who took part in the infamous raising of Celtic, you sure ended up in a nice cushy little post.
Oh,
Raising of
right. I forgot about that. Because Celtic was raised, right? And the Jaegers were hired to do it. But I'm not sure if we knew that it was Northern Jaegers. As I've said previously, you know, Northern Jaegers are still just Jaegers. You know, they do mercenary work.
Duke Alberea wanted to punish the citizens, and he did so by hiring the Northern Jaegers and setting fire to the whole town. And when you burn a place to the ground like that, many innocent civilians end up caught in the middle, Very few survived that day.
Sure, bro. Luckily, miraculously, only one person died, by the way. Just for your information. Now, I don't know if they're just changing things for the anime's sake, or if Lechter's lying to get under their skin. But, you know, as you know, at this point, I think, I've played the first 2 Trails games, and I experienced the raising of Celtic, and it was very obviously said that only one person actually lost their life. They were injured, but only one person actually lost their life. That was the mayor, I think.
No, that can't be true. Martin would never.
You may enter.
Sir.
Rufus Alberea.
I've been waiting for you. Your work as special instructor for the
I see maiden.
military
Yes. 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 Yes.
Captain Reveld.
That's high praise from you.
Claire Reveld.
I believe
The
you've
Icy
already
Maiden.
heard, but we need you back at the capital, and I'm going to have you working under Chancellor Osborne for the duration. It appears that trouble is brewing up north.
And we're expecting a drawn-out battle.
Indeed. If you require any advice at all, I'm always here to listen.
Thank you. Then I'd like some advice now.
Yes, what is it?
If it were you, Governor General, how would you play your cards in this situation with Northumbria?
The answer to that is extremely simple, so I'm sure you already know what I'd say.
So you would use the raising of Celtic?
Correct. The reasons don't matter. Regardless, it's a fact that the Northern Jaegers took the lives of Imperial citizens. And that's
One,
why
actually.
we must make their country atone.
Is that what they're doing? They're like, actually, maybe it was mentioned in the games. I don't remember, but I guess they used the raising of Celtic as an excuse. As I said, there was only one death in the games, but I guess maybe for the anime, they were like, one death is a little kind of bullshit. And honestly, I think I agreed with that when I played the games. I also thought it was kind of bullshit. So I guess they just kind of changed that fact.
And also, Tilly was spying on Duke Alberea for a while there, so... However, everything about Lavi still remains mere speculation.
No, I've been able to dig up a good amount of dirt on her. See, the man who co-founded the Northern Jaegers with Colonel Valestein is also known as one of the heroes who saved Northumbria.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Vlad got a good amount of dirt on her. See, the man who co-founded the Northern Jaegers with Colonel Valestein.
Colonel Valestein? I did not expect to get Sarah backstory. Yo, if it was mentioned in the games, I must have missed it. But like Colonel Valestein, one of the founders, was it the redhead? The redheaded guy? That has to be Sarah's like father or grandfather, right?
Is also known as one of the heroes who saved Northumbria, Vlad Winslet. In fact, he was a grandfather to none other than Lavian Winslet. Oh wow, I didn't expect your reaction to give it away like that. It would appear as though we have our confirmation then. You've got some real special people working for you.
That's not true. My grandfather... I mean to say he's not my...
Oh, you've said enough. Anyway, fact is the Northern Jaegers have returned here to this fateful town of Celtic. And the Empire can't really ignore that, now can we? I'd like to avoid any trouble. Quietly come with us?
And if we refuse your offer?
Altina, Millium, would you answer that question for me?
Yes, you got it, understood.
What is that?
Two of them?
Don't overdo it now, okay, Millium?
Roger that. Take it nice and easy and... Let's do this, Lavi!
Fabian! Civilians!
Why, you... Come back! just warned not to go overboard. I mean, yeah, but I did stop, didn't I?
I mean, yeah, they're just kind of normal people. They're skilled, sure, but like they're not like special people when it comes to fighting. Not yet, anyway. So I don't think they have any chance against Eric Etlum and what was the other one? Klaus Elias.
Watch out!
Yeah, that's not gonna do anything.
Owie, ow. Sorry, that was totally my bad. This would be easier if you stopped interfering. Ah! Ah! They're escaping! What did I just
Get it
say?
together? You there! Stop! What in the world is going on over here?
Great, just what we needed. Both of you know what our top priority is, don't you? So go get them.
We have a chase on our hands.
Let me down!
Oh, jeez. For hardcore parkour.
Nowhere left to run, I'm afraid. Further resistance is futile.
Martin was right.
You know they can fly, right? Oh shit.
Tilly. You scold me, but you go overboard yourself, don't ya?
I've lost them. I'm on my way to the rendezvous point.
Have you lost them though? Oh, I guess you did lose them.
So, Martin, who were those people?
They're called Ironbloods. Have you heard about them?
Not much, I'm afraid.
They're a group formed by the Blood and Iron Chancellor. He holds the highest position within the Imperial government, Gileath Osborne. Handpicked a bunch of kids with special talents for it.
Kids with special talents?
One famous example would be the Railway Military Police's Claire Revelt, also
Yes!
known as the Icy Maiden.
Icy Maiden!
Anyway, you know that guy who called himself Lechter? He's also known as Scarecrow, a vital part of the intelligence division.
Of course you'd know all that.
It's true. I was involved.
Did Kelda do anything to warrant it? I mean, were they secretly planning something terrible, or...
Not
No.
really. It was simply to make an example out of them.
An example? So then you...
I mean, that's kind of what I was saying, is that a lot of these Jaegers, a lot of these northern Jaegers, they think, you know, what they're doing is for the for the greater good, for their homeland, right? They think that they're the good guys, while we already kind of know that they're just mercenaries, right? To them, it's, or at least to a lot of them, it's that they think everyone else is evil, like how Lavi sees Reen and Valimar as this like demon that's going to destroy her homeland. Not really, right? Think that they're bad guys, and oh, they must have been planning something devious. Otherwise, there's no way Northern Jaegers would have raised an innocent town, right? Right?
Jeez, Tally, let it go. Why let it bother you? That's how it is. It's part of what we signed up for when we became Northern Jaegers. It's messed up, but it's still our duty.
But still...
The truth of the matter is, sometimes you need people to do the dirty work. Especially if you're a poor nation surrounded by superpowers that wants to survive.
What you're saying just sounds like an excuse to help make yourself feel better about all the bad you've done.
Say what you will, but that's just how the world works. Only naive, privileged kids think otherwise.
Have you really never once thought about it? Whether it's right to keep living like this, or about what you want for the future?
It doesn't matter, because what I think or feel is none of your business. Yes, the status quo is shit. So what? You want me to sit here and cry about it with you?
Of course not. But
with the way you're lashing out right now, you must have some kind of goal in mind, right?
I do. Sort of.
Well then, it's up to you to accomplish it.
But I still don't know if it's the right path to take.
Ooh, it's like Reen said to Lavi. You know, if you have a goal, work towards that goal. Work towards the future you want to see.
Those who stick to their beliefs, who are unyielding all the way through, they're the ones we see written as heroes in the history books. That's just how it works.
The only thing you ever do is insist we wait and see. Do you really not recognize just how much time we've wasted because of your refusal to act? So long as the ineffective politicians who can do nothing except kowtow to the Empire still hold the power, this country will forever remain as it is, stuck in the past. I believe it's because someone tolerates that incompetence, which allows those worthless miscreants to continue running the show. Wouldn't you agree?
I would say Rogan is right, but wrong at the same time. The thing with waiting and seeing is that Rogan is the type of person who is like, I don't like something, so I'm gonna immediately shake the boat to try to fix it. But shaking the boat could literally just kill you, could literally drown you, could drown the boat. He's probably right with the whole idea of old-fashioned people holding too much power and not really doing anything and moving forward. But he thinks that he can just fight everyone and come out on top. In the end, he's probably going to pick a fight. He might win his individual battle, but his country is going to lose, and then that's it. It's kind of like he fights for himself. He thinks he's fighting for his people, but he's really fighting for himself versus the bigwigs. You know, this guy who most likely, the people who go and say, wait and see, they don't want to make a rash decision. They don't want to make a quick move that could be a mistake.
Do you really think posturing will work? That you can provoke Master Glark into acting out in rage?
I'm not afraid to admit I'm an old tree.
I'm surprised Jaina is like on his side. I thought Jaina and Rogan were working together. Maybe they are, in secret.
But I also haven't withered to the point that I would burn up from such obvious provocations. At the very least, I can guarantee that I see things with more clarity than you.
Really? Then surely you're able to see the current state of the Jaegers, aren't you? If that hero were to attack us as we are now, we won't stand a snowball's chance. This has to stop. The time for waiting and seeing has long passed.
It's like the difference of, you would lose the fight. Glark here would rather wait and see, find an opening, find a weakness, find a countermeasure to their biggest weapon, right? So it's kind of like you wait for an opening, you wait for a weakness, versus Rogan, who would rather just pick the fight, take the first attack, basically, and then probably lose anyway. It's kind of like acting rashly, I feel like. You kind of you jump into the fight without a plan. You know you would lose in an outright fight, which is why you have to plan ahead. You have to find countermeasures to their main weapons, to their trump cards. You can't just immediately pick the fight and hope for the best. Now, yes, if you wait too long, you're gonna die anyway, most likely. But still, you're better off waiting as long as you can and trying to get as much information as you can.
Then let's hear it. Whether we're considering the resources, military power, or this mysterious hero of the Empire, there is not one aspect in which we have any assurance of coming out ahead. Even so, if you still insist on acting, how do we attack and how do we win? Talk me over this strategy of yours.
Currently, the Northern Jaegers are a watered-down version of what they could be, able to do no more than cause some panic in the Empire. However, if we were to consolidate all our forces and focus all of our efforts into breaking through their most significant base, we'd force them into a short, decisive battle.
Which base?
Ridiculous. Positively absurd. Well, theoretically speaking, I suppose we could consider it if the Northern Jaegers were actually united. But I'm living in the real world, where trying to do away with what little unity we have is foolish. Your proposal is laughable.
You're as proficient at shifting
Honestly,
responsibilities as you've all.
I kind of agree. I have to agree. Clearly, the Northern Jaegers are not really united. Even if they could be, just attacking one important base, like, what does that do? If anything, they would sacrifice the base. Erebonia would probably sacrifice the base to kill you along with the base, and then go take over your homeland anyway. Essentially, I think it's the difference between the older gentleman would rather simply just surrender when it's a fight that you cannot win. You would surrender and then at least your people get to live. But this guy, Rogan, would rather go out fighting. Even though he knows they can't win, he would rather still try and then kill all his people in the process. It's that kind of difference between the two. There is one moment in a certain anime in my recent memory, in Attack on Titan, when I think it was Pixis, basically an old commander dude, if you haven't seen Attack on Titan, basically had to make the choice of rooting out some traitors, right? And he basically said, let's just surrender, because they could root out the traitors, but it would take way too much time as well as blood spilled to do so. And they just don't have the manpower nor the time to do so. Like, it's better to just surrender and have your people survive to fight another day, perhaps, than it is to just foolishly run into battle, get yourselves killed in a battle that you have no hope of winning. I think, yeah, that's basically the main difference between these two.
Stein and Vlad were here to see it.
I'm sure they would be pleased with me. I dismissed the provocations of a reckless buffoon and will continue to protect Northumbria. They'd be relieved I'm carrying on the legacy.
Nonsense! It seems the two of us can no longer see eye to eye. It's an unfortunate reality, but you're just a fallen hero.
None of this was any of your concern in the first place. The wheels are set in motion, and you have been utterly blind to it.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Jaina is the one to look out for here. As you can see, I mean, come on, let's be honest here. This is like prime evil mastermind look. You can't get more evil mastermindy than this face right here. But considering what Glark is saying here, I'm thinking maybe he also is working with Jaina on this society cooperation, maybe?
Of your concern in the first
I'm not sure what their plan is.
The wheels are
You probably
set
haven't
in
seen it
motion,
yet.
and you have been utterly blind to it.
Was what that guy said really true? You know, well, about you being Vlad Winslet's granddaughter?
Pass.
Okay, good talk.
Nothing.
Oh, that's one way to dodge a conversation. But why would this matter?
You say can change the truth. Come on, there's no point denying it.
So, how long have you known?
I'm her superior. That info's been available to me the entire time, but the enemy finding out about it changes things, you know.
Why?
They love to use your lineage as a convenient trump card, and there's no doubt in my mind they will. That much was obvious from their actions back at the station.
He's just my grandfather. I don't understand what the big deal is.
You're
Same.
missing the point. The Empire will weaponize any information they can against Northumbria.
They've, like, I guess, been conditioned to think that the Erebonian Empire is like some sort of evil place that wants to rule everything. And granted, they are going around annexing other countries. But still, they seem to think that this empire is like, I don't want to say it, but like the Empire in Star Wars. You know, like just bad guys overall. But there's some good people in there as well.
It's time to stop running away and find a goal of your own like Talion has. Once you do that, don't stop till you reach it, okay?
No way! They can fly? Down you go!
Of course they can fly. Why would they think that they can't fly? They've literally been flying the whole interaction that they had with these two.
There you are! A flash grenade! I'm starting to see stars!
I'll go out there and distract those two. Then you guys can escape.
But you...
No, that's ridiculous. I'll go.
Just do what I say! Do you want to end up like me, kid? Accepting any orders, even the dirty work that goes against your morals? This whole time, I've let others decide my life for me! You're different. aren't you? Let me look forward to the future you'll create. So go! Protecting you now is what I want to do!
This is great and all, but like, there's no way not everyone in a fucking 2-kilometer radius just heard that, right?
Huh? That's weird.
Over here, little brat!
Oh, no you don't! You can't escape.
We need to keep going.
You said come quietly, right?
You're something else, you know? Takes real guts to face off with these two alone. You even acted as a decoy to make sure your subordinates could escape. What a touching display of courage.
Must suck to be you. I'll bet your bosses won't be too happy.
I don't know about that. Betting on the dark horse is thrilling in its own way. I'm not mad about it.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Lechter knew exactly what was going on and still decided to just take him a hostage, I guess. Or into custody.
Just do what I say! Do you want to end up like me, kid? You're different, aren't you? It's time to stop running away and find a goal of your own like Talion has. Once you do that, don't stop till you reach it, okay?
A goal of my own?
These episodes go fast. They just really do. I definitely liked how much of Lechter we got here. So far in the games, as far as I've gotten, I mean, we get Lechter occasionally, but we don't really see him doing badass stuff. I feel like he was quite badass here. But again, one thing that I was like, why, you know? When you go and try to take a bunch of people into custody, you would not go and take them into custody with less people than you're trying to take into custody, you know, if that makes sense. If there's 4 people, there's no way you would go and try to take them in with 3 people. Like, just, you wouldn't. What if they all run in different directions? What are you gonna do then? You might get 3 of them, but you're not getting all 4. It was the same problem I had with Chainsaw Man, like episode 8? When, you know, shit went down. Like, they just had like one guy trying to assassinate 4 people. Like, it's not gonna happen. By the time you kill the first guy, the other 3 are already running in different directions. Same thing here, like, I'm surprised that they only had Millium and Altina and Lechter, I guess. But, I mean, even Lechter didn't really do anything. Millium and Altina were the only ones, like, chasing after them. I'm surprised they didn't have, like, more people, I guess. We also, one of my favorite characters. The Icy Maiden. Claire Revealt. She looking fine as always. We didn't get much of her, but yeah, they were just kind of, you know, talking about what Rufus would do if it was up to him. He would obviously just, as he said, the answer is very simple. He would just use the raising of Keldic as an excuse to wage war on Northumbria, which is exactly what they were expecting. Now that, wow, I just put it together, holy shit. Rufus Alberea was the one who hired, wait no, not Rufus, the previous head, their father, was the one who hired the Northern Jaegers to raise Keldic as an example during the Civil War. And now that I'm thinking about it, maybe Rufus influenced his father's decision. Maybe Rufus was the one who specifically hired the Northern Jaegers to raise Keldic, so he would have, or they, I guess, Osborn and Rufus, would have an excuse to invade Northumbria as retaliation. You know, that's kind of how Osborn does things, honestly. He himself creates the problem and then takes over the country as the solution. That's kind of his MO, so I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, Lechter doing his information warfare. Lavi's group finds out about each other, things, all kinds of things about each other. We had Millium a bunch of Millium this episode. They in the anime they seem to say that a lot of people died in the raising of Celtic, but no, they didn't. Not in the game, at least. They just didn't. Only one person died, and it was like the mayor. There were injured people, and the entire town like did burn, but only one person actually died. And then they were doing the whole like sitting around a campfire, airing out their secrets. I'm not sure how Lavi being the granddaughter of one of the heroes is relevant. I don't see how you would use that information for anything. I mean, I can think of a couple of things, but these wouldn't really influence this situation. Or like, I'm talking about like the whole Northumbrian and Erebonian war situation. It wouldn't really, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. And then obviously, you know, Galark and Rogan not seeing eye to eye. It seems like Jaina is working with Galark, maybe? I'm not sure. But it does seem like Galark has some sort of plan. As he said, things are already in motion. And then, you know, Jaina looking all creepy and evil. Mastermindy. And then this guy got captured. And then they got picked up by a bus or something? Not sure. I mean, I definitely liked this episode more than the previous one. They definitely, you know, moved back into the whole storyline. I can't, however, say that the episode was super good. It felt lacking. As I've said before, I'm not one for, you know, I don't care about good animation and stuff like that, but even I can tell the animation budget seems to be very low. And just in general, even like basic, like fucking every season harem anime have better, I guess, art/animation. But, you know, whatever. I just sometimes feel like certain scenes, they don't really flow well with the previous scene, if that makes sense. Like when that guy just started shouting at the group, when they're trying to hide from Altina and Millium. Hey, they've just passed us.
What are you doing? This is what I want to do. Do you want to become like me?
You know, like, that literally just doesn't make sense. How does that make sense? There's no way they didn't hear you. Why are you yelling? But, you know, whatever. Overall, I would say this episode was, well, it was better than the previous one, but it still feels a little too slow. I don't know why. Seemingly, these episodes go by very fast. I guess I'm just like, I don't know, I'm expecting more. I'm expecting there to be more in every single episode, but apparently the episode just ends so fucking fast. Regardless, that's about it. I'm looking forward to the next episode. We're heading into episode 7 now after this, and we're about halfway through. I'm still patiently waiting for one specific character. If you know, you know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in episode 7.